Hi, my name is Lauren Williams. I'm a little sunburnt, so I'm really sorry about that. My book I chose is called Chocolate Milk Por Favor, and it is by Donna Farrell and Maria Dismondy. And I'll read it first, and then I'll talk to you about it once I'm finished. Johnny was walking into school when he first saw the new kid. What a baby, he thought, as the boy cried and held his mother's hand. She whispered something to him, words that sounded different to Johnny. Delicioso. The boy smacked his lips as his mother handed him a chocolate milk. Let's welcome Gabe to our classroom family. He will not understand our words at first. Think about what you can do to help him, Johnny's teacher announced with a smile. Johnny didn't smile. He didn't like boys who cried. At reading time, Gabe sat next to Johnny. Johnny pulled his book close to his chest. I'm not sharing with him, he thought. Crybaby, whispered Johnny to Gabe. Gabe didn't say a word. It was lunchtime. Gabe whispered to the lunch aide, Leche chocolate, por favor. The boy behind him announced, I think he wants a chocolate milk. Johnny watched his friend help Gabe, and he spoke up. He's not like us. He can't even order lunch. Johnny sat and enjoyed his lunch while Gabe sat alone, drinking his chocolate milk. During recess, Johnny spotted Gabe doing a tricky soccer move he'd been trying to master for weeks. He just couldn't do it. Join our team, a girl shouted to Gabe. Gabe didn't move until she motioned for him to come over. Gabe moved over to Johnny before running to the field, but Johnny ignored him. The boy high-fived their new teammate. Well, look at him. He thinks he's so cool, Johnny told himself as he blinked tears. He wouldn't be a crybaby. Johnny's jaw dropped. Why were they being so nice to Gabe? What fun was he? He couldn't even speak English. All week, Johnny watched Gabe from a distance. Gabe came to school every day. He still never said anything and was trying new things. By the end of the week, Johnny sat alone at lunch. Gabe was surrounded by boys and girls laughing and sharing with him. At recess that day, Gabe kicked the soccer ball over to Johnny. Johnny shook his head no. Gabe did the tricky move anyhow. It's so hard. How did you do it? Johnny asked. Gabe showed him the move over and over again. Finally, Johnny did it. Yes, he shouted. Gabe beamed and patted him on the back. As Johnny walked back to school, Gabe silently by his side, something clicked for him. He got it. That horrible feeling of being frustrated and wanting to cry because he couldn't get the soccer move, that's how Gabe must have felt learning a new language. He did it. He finally got the tricky move, and Gabe was getting it too. Johnny believed. The next morning, Gabe was walking into school when Johnny moved close to him. Hi, he said, handing Gabe a carton of chocolate milk. I know it's your favorite, Johnny added. Thank you, Gabe replied. Johnny and Gabe both smiled. Today would be a great day. Johnny learned that actions speak louder than words. He understood that to have friends is to first be a friend, and having a friend meant the world to Johnny. The end. And then in the back it has a picture of Gabe. It is a fiction book, but it's based on a real-life experience. Gabe was a foreign student, an ELL student, and he overcome many obstacles in his classroom, and it just kind of honors that and tells his story. I really liked this book and chose this book in particular because it actually includes an ELL student. There's not a lot of books that actually tell about that. They have pictures, that's pretty awesome, and then it has the picture of Gabe in the back, which just really makes it click, I think, especially for young students, to see it in real life, because not all schools are diverse, and even so, it's still important to teach that and to teach equality and just kind of have the students practice just learning about that and accepting differences. I was born in Overland Park, and I went to elementary school in a pretty diverse school, and then when I moved in 6th grade, it was an all-white school, and even though it was all white, the teachers always stressed and always had special lessons and activities that just taught equality and diversity and how to deal with just different situations you might come in life, because life isn't all white and black. An activity I thought would be really fun to do is you could do a lot of things. Definitely a group discussion afterwards. I would love to do that. I think it would help the students voice their opinions and share their stories and personal experiences. That really helps them connect to the material. And then after a share session, maybe split them off into groups, and they'd each have a poster, and they could come up with as many ideas as they could to help assist or invite an ELL student into their lives or their classroom or the community, to pretend that they had a Gabe in the classroom and just think of as many ideas as they could to help him out. What could you do? Even though you can't physically speak words to each other yet, there's so many other ways to communicate and to make him feel included, or she. You could invite them to a game of kickball. Rules are universal. You don't need to speak most of the time in sports. You kick the ball, you run around the bases. If you catch it, you're out. Those are games that you don't really need words for. Body language is universal. A smile, a handshake, a high five, a hug. Those are also things that you can do without using physical words to speak. Motioning, gesture, come over, help them with their homework. There's so many things and ideas that you could do, and I would love to see what my students came up with. I think that would be really fun. And besides actually just coming up with the ideas and the actual material, it's just a great collaborative group activity, and it's a great way for students to just come together and, process together and think of just different ideas and think outside the box. Like I said, I think the overall theme is probably acceptance. There are many just other ideas in that book: friendship, diversity, equality, but I think the overall theme would be acceptance. Johnny and Gabe are in an unfamiliar situation, and they learn to overcome their differences and just accept each other for who they are. So I thought that was really great. I hope you liked it too. I got it on my iPad, and I saw it at the library. I only saw one copy. They didn't have it, so I bought it on my iPad, but it's a really great book, and I'd actually read this to my classroom at any age. I think that it'd be appropriate for any age group, and you could just do a lot of things with it.